On Monday Night Football, NFL Week 3, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Philadelphia Eagles 41-21. And let's start with this. I think Dallas is a very, very good football team. They lost to Tampa Week 1 by 2 points. That's the reigning Super Bowl champions who are going to be a playoff team this year. We're almost certain. So that's a loss. I'm like, hey, that's a tough loss, but they played very, very well. Then in Week 2 against LA, they won. They beat the LA Chargers Week 2. LA's very good. I thought that was an impressive win for Dallas. I'm like, hey, 2 weeks in, you're like, really good. And then now in Week 3, Dallas took care of business. And I'm like, this team really impressed me. 3 games in, the Dallas Cowboys are, in my opinion, easily the best team in the NFC East. I would be, frankly, shocked if they did not win their division. And I just go like, oh, man, I was wrong about it. It looks 3 games in so far. We'll see where they're at by Week 10. So far, I'm like, I was very wrong about Dallas. It's only 3 games in September. But what I've seen from Dallas so far has been very, very impressive. And the guy that I think deserves the most credit in this organization is Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. These 3 games have been... Dak is simply playing the best I have ever seen during his career. And the small details are better than ever. 3rd downs. He knows exactly where to go with the ball. He's been precise. He's been decisive. He's been highly accurate downfield. The best I've ever seen Dak throw the ball vertically downfield this year. I'm like, wow, I am blown away. He's been patient. He's been checking the ball down. He's been making great decisions. I look at his completion percentage. And completion percentage is not everything. He's always been good at that. But like year 1 of Dak, he was just kind of 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, which is good. That's not bad quarterback play to take what the defense gives you. But now Dak has got a high completion percentage with like what for other quarterbacks would be low percentage throws. He's threading the needle and still got a really high completion percentage. It just looks fantastic. It's like really, really high level quarterback play. He's getting the ball out of his hands very quickly, reading blitzes and making the right checks. I am blown away by Dak Prescott so far this year. And there was a play he made 4th and goal on the 2-yard line. The play went horribly. No one was open. No problem for Dak, right? He extends the play right, keeps it alive, finds someone in the end zone for a touchdown. Just a really, really great play. And, I mean, he had another play similar to that Week 1 against Tampa where there's a bad snap low. He catches it, throws a touchdown. I just really, I can't say enough how impressed I am with Dak Prescott so far this year. And I remember in the past being underwhelmed by Dak Prescott. And I also don't think I was wrong back then. I had really legit criticisms of Dak where I was like, details, 3rd down, were not good. I mean, I remember things I said about Dak. I'm like, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. And some Cowboys fans loved Dak even back then. But people were divided. People were angry. Some people loved Dak. Some people hated Dak. And I was objective. And I'm like, look, Dak, I like the person. But I remember Dak making mistakes that were glaring and problematic to me. But Dak, I always loved Dak Prescott, the human being. Like, the way, he's clearly a good dude. He works hard. Got a great story. Like, his brother, his mom. His brother's incredibly sad. My brother also took his own life. That was a thing we have in common that I really was like, oh, man, I feel so much for Dak. And I'm really not sure how anybody can hate Dak Prescott, the person. If you're an Eagles fan, a Giants fan, you might be mad. Like, oh, I'm frustrated he beats my football team. But, like, you can't honestly tell me, like, you think he's a terrible person. That's just not true about Dak Prescott. And now it's a big relief to me that I can finally love everything he's doing, not only off the field, but also on the field. I look at Dak Prescott, I'm like, finally, yes, this is something I can get behind. It's so nice to not watch Dak Prescott anymore and have I have no criticisms, nothing to, I don't really have any critiques, nothing wrong. There's no glaring problems in his game. He's just playing fantastic, high-level football, and I got goosebumps. Like, that makes me so, because for years I've been wanting that and rooting for him and hoping, and finally, it's there. I'm so glad and happy to report Dak Prescott got way better. And I mean, I hated for years while he was developing, liking the person, but also having to acknowledge and talk about his shortcomings on the field. So against Philly, Dak was 21 for 26 passing, 238 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have like one bad, every game you get, in my opinion, if you're a quarterback, you get one bad play a game where I'm like, I'm not going to fault you for that, right? Tom Brady screws up sometimes. Aaron Rodgers will screw up. Every quarterback in the NFL has a bad play every game, and I'm like, totally fine. The bad play for Dak in this game, he had one fumble. He got hit in his own end zone. Eagles picked it up for a touchdown. Not a good play, like not the best play of Dak's career, but also it's not a long-lasting symptom of a problem. Like you see Dak in his own end zone, it's easy to fix that. You say, hey, Dak, you got to get the ball out of your hands quickly in your own end zone. There was a miscommunication on the route. I'm like, totally fine. Hey, Dak, take note next time. If you're backed up in your own end zone, you got to get rid of the ball. You can't double clutch. You don't have a lot of time to find your second and third read. You got to get the ball out of your hands. Fixable. Not a problem to me. So again, the story of the first 3 games for Dak Prescott is that he is much improved. And I want to mention this because it's really cool to me. I remember watching a Graham Bensinger video a couple years ago. And it was Graham Bensinger, and maybe it was last year or 2 years, something like that, right? Graham Bensinger went to Dak's house and was interviewing him. And we got to see footage of Dak Prescott's home office. And I work from home. And when you have a place to work where you live, it makes you more productive. And when I saw Dak Prescott's, I'm going to call it, quote, his home office. When I saw that, it was a big statement to me of how committed Dak Prescott is to his football career. Now, of course, I work at a desk. You can see it right behind me if you're watching on YouTube. I work at a desk, and that's my home office is right here where I am literally 95% of my life. Sometimes I've literally slept, even in Hawaii here, I've slept under my desk. Now, Dak's home office is a 50-yard football field at his house. And one cool detail about that is that he built that football field before he got his massive contract with the Cowboys. He did that using his Pepsi endorsement money. So Dak is all in. And I always tell people, quarterbacks should learn from Tom Brady. You look at Tom Brady, the way he has taken care of his body. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. I challenge young quarterbacks to copy the way Tom Brady has taken care of his body. He's completely dedicated. Well, now I have another one. Hey, the football field at your house, that is something that other quarterbacks should steal from Dak Prescott. That is a really, in my opinion, next level investment in your career. Now, I know Dak is from Texas. There's more land to be had. Sure, fair enough. But where there's a will, there's a way. And if you're a quarterback making $100 million on a giant contract, I'm sorry, everybody can find a way to build a football field at your house and make that your training space. You can. If you want to, you can. And Dak, I call it, again, quote, his home office. That's all part of the process that made Dak Prescott better. It's his investment. When you wake up every day, you see the field, it taunts you. When your office is where you wake up in the morning, you get right to work. That's how I am. And I'm sure Dak is the same way. I wake up, I get out of bed, I don't even drink water. I just literally sit down at my desk. I'm a creature of habit. I get up, suddenly I'm in my desk and I'm back to work. Dak wakes up every morning in Texas and goes, put on my cleats, go throw the ball, do footwork drills, whatever it is. It's a next level dedication that I really want to credit to Dak. And that is part of the process of him developing and becoming a better quarterback. That investment at his house helped him get better. Now, another guy who deserves credit in the development of Dak Prescott, I'm going to give him praise, and then I'm going to share a concern I have about him, is the Cowboys head coach, Mike McCarthy. He did not want to derail Dak Prescott's progress as a quarterback. So when Mike McCarthy was hired, rather than making Dak learn a new offensive system, he said, I'm going to keep the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, the guy we already have here, former Boise State quarterback, offensive coordinator of the Cowboys. Instead of making Dak learn a new offensive system, new words, new verbiage, new concepts, I'm going to sacrifice myself. And Mike McCarthy decided to learn the Cowboys system. And he, instead of making Dak adapt, he said, I'm going to adapt to Dak. Hey, effing bravo. That is great coaching. I love hearing that. I love saying, that's beautiful. And I remember Mike McCarthy talking in an interview like a year and a half ago about that whole process. He's back in his house talking about, well, this is what I'm going to do when I get a coaching job. And it's really cool to see that. So Dak not having to learn a new system, getting to build on what he already knew, and then he got injured last year, had a year off to watch film and hang out. And I'll be honest, it's a very weird phenomenon. Like, Dak didn't get to sit down for very long in his football career. One of the best ways to learn how to play quarterback the right way is to watch it played the wrong way and watch mistakes happen and bad things happen. I have no doubt that watching Andy Dalton run the Cowboys offense last year, it gave Dak I got notebooks all around me. He had probably stacks of notes of what he would do instead of what Andy Dalton did last year. Ideas, like all kinds of stuff. And I actually think in a weird way, it's possible that Dak getting hurt last year might have been one of the better things that ever happened in his career. He got to watch film every week from the sideline, from not on the field, see Andy Dalton, no shot at Andy Dalton, but not play the quarterback at a high level, and say, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that, and got his mind going. And he looks way, way better this year. I'm trying to praise Dak as much as I can because I'm just like, you have to understand, he's a much different quarterback this year than he ever has been in the past.